Okay,
Okay.
we're ready.
Okay. So at this time, I'd like to welcome everybody to our meeting. And I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you please, Billy, do a roll call?
Gay,
Here.
Reese,
Here.
Webb,
Here.
Bowman.
Here. Okay, we do have a quorum. Discussion and possible action to accept and issue the official certificates of election for the unopposed positions of Commissioner of Utilities and the unopposed Office of Commissioner of Public Highways for the municipal election that was to be held March the 17th, 2020. Just to make a note on the agenda, it said for the position of mayor, and that was just an error. So it's just the Commissioner of Utilities and Public Highways. So at this time, we would like to swear in the Commissioner of Utilities. And I'm going to have you just read the oath of office, if that's okay. And do you have that?
To do number 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Right, Billy, I apologize. Okay. So that's the action to accept, discussion and possible action. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? If not, I'll call for a vote.
Webb,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Gay.
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll go into the swearing in of the Commissioner of Utilities. Which one is that you, Ronnie?
Yeah, that's me.
Have you got the thing in front of you?
I do.
Okay, go ahead at this time, please.
Okay. I, Ronnie Webb, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma, and that I will not knowingly receive, directly or indirectly, any money or other valuable thing for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office other than the compensation allowed by law. I further swear that I will faithfully discharge my duties as Commissioner of Utilities to the best of my ability.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. I know you were just looking forward to that. Okay. At this time, we'll do the swearing in for the Commissioner of Public Highways, Travis Reese. Would you please read your oath of office, please?
Yes, it's on my other screen, so I'll have to kind of look to the side, but
Okay.
I, Travis Reese, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma, and that I will not knowingly receive, directly or indirectly, any money or other valuable thing for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office, other than the compensation allowed by law. I further swear that I will faithfully discharge my duties as Commissioner of Public Highways to the best of my ability.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to you, Travis. And then item number 7 is seating of the new commissioners. They are not new, and they know where their seats are, especially right now. Okay, so now would you do a roll call, please, Billy?
Gay.
Here.
Reese,
Here.
Webb,
Here.
Bowman.
Here.
Okay, I declare it a quorum. The next thing on the agenda is the consent agenda.
Make a
Which is-
motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, I have a motion, and do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, anything you'd like to remove from the consent agenda? If not, please call vote for the approval of the consent agenda.
Webb,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Gay.
Yes,
Okay, motion approved. Item number 11, financial report by the city manager.
I'm going to go ahead and switch our screen over
so that we are sharing this with everyone. You'll see this is our May 7th financial report. This is from March of 20 numbers. You'll see in the general fund, we're still looking pretty good. We're ahead by 45,000, but we're going to still see that drop in the Mangum Utility Authority, down 38,700 for the month of May, or excuse me, for the month of March. That actually, this month puts us below on our balance of revenues and expenditures. I'll have you all know that we're still okay because we've got that reserve balance. But what we're going to do in order to help this out is next month, we're going to halt the transfer over that we would normally move from the Mangum Utility Authority over to the general fund. I've done the math on this. I've talked it over with the auditors, and it's the best way that we can go ahead and bring that MUA back up into a green status until the summer months, when the MUA is going to go ahead and start bringing more money in for the electric and water rates. So we're going to hold that off, and that should fix us next month. And you'll see that on my next report. As far as sales and use tax, sales tax is up. Of course, don't have it. Sales tax is up from last year, 12.48%, down 10.67% from the year before, or for the month, last month. Our use tax is kind of taking a dive on us. It's about 50% less than what we had last year. Last month, excuse me, and about 18% down from last year. So we expect to see that March was going to go down. We were really surprised with how high February was, but it was a good sign. We're hoping that as we get closer to reporting in March and April's true numbers for tax revenue, that we're going to see use tax go up, and we're unfortunately going to have to report that the sales tax revenue is actually going to drop on us. So we're getting ready for that. We're getting prepared for that. We know that's going to happen. But that is what that is. It's kind of a circumstance of having to shut everything down in the city for COVID. We know it's going to happen. We know that it's going to really affect us in May numbers, which we'll be reporting in July. So I'm just giving you that heads up. Next month, you'll probably see an increase, and you're going to say, hey, this is actually pretty good. That increase is going to be people preparing for the lockdown and people preparing for us to have to shut down the city. So they went out and they spent. So we're going to see a little bit of a boost next month, and then we're going to see that drop in the month after, and we need to be ready for that. And the budget that I'm building for next year it's got that built in. Again, I've talked to the auditors, I've talked to the contract on the auditors, and we think we've prepared for that pretty well. So that is my financial report for the month of May. Does anybody have any questions?
Dave, what do we think our budget shortfall will be for the end of the fiscal year?
I don't see we're going to have a shortfall for the end of this fiscal year. MUA is going to be short. We believe that with taking out the here's the thing, the city, the general fund is over. we've budgeted very well, and we've done very well in our expenditures. We've done very well in our revenues for the general fund. The utility authority has done not so well in the expenditure side, and we're barely meeting our revenue side. That we always know that we're going to have that problem in the winter months because we're not using the electricity and we're not using the water. We didn't gain enough in the fall to cover that. This is, this is really the first years that you're seeing this. We know that these things happen with MUA, your electric rates and your water rates. You see it on your own water rates and your own electric rates when they go up and down. Well, it's citywide that happens. So we expect that next month our MUA rate is going to increase. The problem is that we are also getting prepared for a lack of revenue from folks that may have been affected by the virus. Their jobs may have been affected. They've not worked. So we've put out our plan for that and how we're going to help folks out with that. So revenue that we may have expected normally for next month, we may not see that revenue, that major increase in that revenue because of what folks may not be able to pay. So we're preparing for that. We're getting ready to see exactly what that's going to do to the MUA. It's easy for us to look at the general fund and say, hey, what is this going to do to affect us? When we can easily say, okay, well, we're only going to take 25% of what we normally take. MUA is more difficult because we don't know exactly how much that's going to affect us for folks that are able to pay their bill on time. We're encouraging everybody that you pay a little, you pay what you can. We know that there are folks out there that are going to be struggling, and we know that we're going to have those folks that are having that problem, and we're sympathetic to that, and we're going to make it work somehow. But right now, to answer your question, and that was a very long-winded way to get to it, we are expecting a little bit of a shortfall in MUA. I'm not expecting an end of the year shortfall for general fund. I think the general fund is looking really well. And that's really good news for us. Where we're going to have a bigger problem is next year's budget. And I've already built that into the budget already. I know we haven't talked about the budget, and this isn't the time or place to really talk about the budget, but I've prepared for that contingency. We're going to have a 0% growth on our revenues for next year. And we're cutting back on some expenditures. So that's, I think, where we're going to sit at the end of the year.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, if not, let's go on down to the next item. Item number 12, discussion and possible action to elect a vice mayor. Does anybody want to volunteer? Well, excuse me. Do I have a motion? And this is just crazy because you don't know who to vote for. A discussion. Do I have a motion to elect a vice mayor?
I'll make a motion to elect Ron Gay.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so call for a vote, Billy.
Bowman,
Is there any other discussion? Ron, are you willing to do that?
Sure. I appreciate the confidence.
Okay, so he didn't turn it down, so
There we go.
go ahead and call for a vote.
okay, Bowman,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Gay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ron. I appreciate it for you being there when I can't be. Um, Item number 13 on the agenda is discussion and possible action for Mangum High School graduation ceremony. Okay, do I have a motion for any action for the graduation?
So,
I know.
well, but I'm going to tell you guys, I did some reading up, and I don't think we need to make a motion to have that discussion.
Okay.
There's
Um,
not going to be any action required.
Oh,
Right.
there's, okay.
Not,
And-
not that I'm aware of. I just wanted to present our plan. I have spoken to Dave about it just to make sure it didn't violate anything. Uh, we have an 8-member committee that I'll just kind of talk, and then if you feel like there needs to be some action, I guess then we can consider. But we put together an 8-member committee to try to honor the class of 2020 in the best, most honorable, but yet safe way that we possibly could. So the decision was made to have a parade. And so the commissioners know there's going to be a request to close off the block on North Oklahoma that's in front of the high school on the evening of May 21st, which is a Thursday evening. And we have plans at this point to start the parade at 7:15. I know we first publicized 7 o'clock, but just for heat issues and sunlight issues, we're going to postpone 15 minutes, and we still think we're going to get everything in plenty of time before it gets dark. But right now, the parade is planning to start at the intersection of Byers and Taft, and we'll go east on Taft to Lewis Tittle, and then go south on Lewis Tittle, and which I'll have this map on Facebook and remind and in the newspaper this next week. But we'll go east on Taft, south on Lewis Tittle, and we'll go to, oh goodness, is Jefferson the block north? Lincoln is the south block, isn't it? Jefferson's the
Yeah.
Right.
block
Yeah.
north. Okay, we're going to turn west on Jefferson. And then when we get to that northeast corner of the square, we're going to go south and go completely around the square and then go north on Penn. So actually that intersection of Jefferson and Penn, we're going to have some seniors turning to go south and some seniors turning to go north on the parade. That way they get a little visual of each other. We wanted a spot where maybe they could see each other, but maintain their social distancing. So they're going to go north on Penn, come up to the north side of the gym, which might happen to be a city commissioner's intersection as well, that has decorated their yard, that we want to make sure all seniors see that as well. So we're going to turn there and go back to Oklahoma and then come south to the high school. Once they get to the high school, we'll have this block sectioned off to where only that senior and their family members that are in their vehicle or vehicles will pull in front of the high school. We're going to have a stage set up out by the road. That senior will then step out of the vehicle, come up to the stage. We're going to call their name as we would during a traditional graduation. We're going to allow 2 of the family members to step out with that senior to take pictures and video. We also have Diane Kendall has volunteered to take professional photos and provide them for the seniors as well. But they'll come up, receive their diploma, get their pictures, get back in their vehicle. And at that point, the parade's going to end at the high school. So they'll continue on, and the next family will then pull in front of the high school. Really the only place where there's going to be any contact is the actual presentation of the diploma. We had, quite a few parents wanting that picture, which, it's a very important picture. So even if at that point we need to wear masks and gloves, we will. But we want to make sure and give them that opportunity of stepping across the stage and receiving their diploma. So that, I've kind of gone over that with Dave and talked to Mary Jane about it, but if that's, good with the commissioners, I have contacted police, fire, and EMS to help kind of escort the parade and keep it en route. And also, we're not going to shut anything else down, but we may need either, and I've talked to OHP, so we may have either Mangum PD or OHP just when we turn off at Taft to go south on Lewis Tittle, kind of hold up traffic there as we're making that turn. So hopefully it doesn't violate any of the restrictions and will be something to honor this class of 2020.
Sounds really nice. It does. Is there any more discussion? Anybody have any questions? And Dave has the right to put those barriers up, so we don't have to vote on that.
That's correct. And we've already talked about that, and everything seems to be legal, especially with the declaration. We've talked about all of the requirements for social distancing and the mask wear. So the masks are going to be required only for that portion where they're handing out the certificates, the diplomas. But other than that, everything else seems to be following along with the requirements that are currently in place.
So at this point, we don't need any action on any of this, do we? Dave?
I don't believe so. Corey, can you think of anything?
No.
Travis, I would like to thank the school and you for working so hard to make sure I have a senior, and we appreciate that.
Well, they missed out on a lot, and we're going to miss them. It's been tough on me. You get close to those kids, and then you think you've got 9 weeks left with them, and now I haven't seen them since March 11th, and it's kind of tough. And this will be an opportunity, and it's rare, unique. I hope that I know they wanted to have a traditional ceremony, but it just wasn't feasible and possible. And I hope, there's been a lot of hours planning, and we've got other things involved that, I didn't mention, but I hope it's something special for them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no more discussion on that, item number 4 is motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion? We do? Who made that motion?
Both
I
Ron.
think Ron made it, and I'll second it.
Okay, there we go. Can you call for a vote, please?
Reese,
Yes.
Gay,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
and Webb.
Yes.
Okay, so meeting is adjourned. At this time, then, we were going to be going to the Mangum Utility Authority. And I want to call to order this meeting. Would you do a roll call, please, Billy?
Scott,
Here.
Reese,
Here.
Bowman,
Here.
Gay,
Here.
Webb.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. The minutes for April 15th and the April 20th claims, or April 2020 claims and May 2020 estimated payroll. Is there any item you'd like to remove from the agenda at this time?
Make a motion we approve them as presented.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Okay, would you call for a vote, please?
Scott,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Gay,
Yeah.
Webb.
Okay.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, number 5, discussion and possible action to approve resolution 2020-38, waiving the recycling fee for the month of April 2020. Do I have a motion?
So move.
And a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion on that?
Can we,
Yes.
Yeah,
go
we can
ahead.
talk about it.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and I'll explain this one out. We had to shut down the recycling center due to the manning constrictions. We lost all of our inmates, and honestly, in my opinion, and I talked this over with the mayor, it's really not fair to make people pay for the use of the recycling center when they weren't able to use it for a month. There's been some questions called up to City Hall about that, and I have to say, in my personal opinion, I agree with them. Since we've shut it down, I think that we just need to accept it and not, basically we waive April's $4 charge for the recycling center because it was not available for them to use.
Okay, anybody else have any discussion or comments?
But
If not-
that's gonna be everyone and there's no, okay. Cause I mean, I would be fine with it staying on my bill, but
and that's how I am as well. I use it. My thought process is always, I use it when I need it, and I know I pay for it even if I don't use it in that month period. I mean, the is setting a precedent of somebody arguing, well, I didn't use it this month. Why am I going to have to pay for it?
Well, the only argument on that is that your decision for when you want to use it, and that goes for everybody. I'm not saying you, but your decision to use it or not is based on your decision. It's not based on the city telling you we're going to make you pay for this, but we're not going to allow you to use it.
no, I agree.
The complaint that we have gotten is we've just shut everybody at home and told them you can't leave your home. So they've all been piling up debris in their house while they're doing their spring cleaning, and they can't take their stuff to the recycle center because we've had it shut down as well. I totally understand and I get it. I wouldn't have a problem myself paying that $4, but what's fair is fair. And if we're not going to shut it down, or if we're going to shut it down, I think, and that's my opinion. I'm not a voting member, so.
Any other
How long
comments?
has it been shut down for? A full month?
Yes, it was shut down on the 29th of March, and we didn't reopen it until the 30th of April.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, if not, let's call for a vote.
Reese,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Gay.
Yes.
And my next comment would be just if you want to pay that $4, I would go ahead and send it to the city.
Well, we would happily accept it for those who understand what kind of a position we're in. But we're not going to charge you for it. So.
Okay, motion passed. Okay. That's the last item on the agenda. The next thing is a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to,
Second?
Second.
Have a second?
Who
Okay,
seconded it?
Travis.
Travis.
And call for a vote, please.
Webb,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Gay,
Yes.
Bowman.
yes.
Okay, motion carries. One quick question. Do you think we're still going to be doing this in June or we might be in person, or we're still going to do a Zoom in June? Probably.
Take yourself off mute, Dave.
You're on mute. Take yourself off mute, Dave.
Hi.
There you go.
Sorry, I had my other screen up, getting ready to go to shut this off. I believe that, yes, we're going to be in this until June. It may be actually until July. It all depends on the governor's orders, where we're at with social distancing. I think social distancing is going to be around with us for a while. The allowance for us to do our commission meetings this way extend out to, is it November, Corey, or is it?
I was thinking it was September, but that extended.
I have to look at it again. I believe it's November, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to meet again well before that. But until the state eases some restrictions on the vulnerable population, as well as the restrictions on meeting in groups of 10 or more, this is going to be the way of the future.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for logging in, and be sure and call me if you have any questions about anything going on right now. But then what I'll do is I'll just refer you to Dave. So.
Yeah, Dave's right. It's November 15th. I just double checked.
November
Okay.
15th. Okay.
I thought so.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.